We begin with the news in downtown Billings, where a shooting is under investigation. Police are on scene at the Lazy KT Motel on 1st Avenue North this morning. The department has confirmed the investigation began around 6 or 7 o'clock last night when they received several reports of hearing a gunshot. As you can see, that investigation is still underway and several squad cars are on scene along with the crime scene van. The westbound lanes of 1st Avenue North are blocked off at North 14th Street, and there's crime scene tape around the entrance to the motel. We will be sure to update you as soon as we hear more from the police department. On to the day's top national headlines. The controversy continues over President Donald Trump's assertion that past presidents did not call the families of fallen U.S. soldiers. The president says he's called all 4 U.S. soldiers recently killed in Africa. But Democratic Congresswoman Frederica Wilson says she was with one of the soldiers' widows when President Trump called and he was insensitive. A White House official says the president's conversations with Gold Star families are private. Republican and Democratic senators are working together to craft a bill aimed at stabilizing health insurance markets for the next 2 years. Republican Senator Lamar Alexander of Tennessee and Democratic Senator Patty Murray of Washington hope to present the bill to Senate leadership by the end of next week. President Trump commended the bipartisan effort, but added the only long-term solution is to repeal and replace Obamacare. And President Trump's most recent travel ban affecting people coming from 5 Middle Eastern countries, as well as North Korea, Chad, and Venezuela, was supposed to go into effect today. But yesterday, a federal judge temporarily blocked the travel ban, calling it dangerously flawed. The state of Hawaii had sued, arguing the ban was an unlawful attempt to exclude Muslims from the U.S. The White House is slamming the decision, saying it undercuts the president's efforts to keep the American people safe. Turning to news closer to home, the ACLU of Montana says it will sue to block a proposed ballot initiative that would require people to use bathrooms and other facilities based on their sex at birth. The lawsuit was filed in Cascade County District Court on behalf of 10 plaintiffs. They include 7 transgender people, 2 parents of a transgender child, and the city of Missoula. The suit claims Initiative 183 would violate transgender Montanans' rights to equal protection and privacy and put them at greater risk for harassment. Supporters of the initiative are currently gathering signatures to qualify it for the ballot next November.
We need policies that support diversity and inclusion and encourage everyone to live happily and safely. This policy does just the opposite of that.
The ACLU is asking the court to rule I-83 unconstitutional and issue an injunction to keep it off the ballot. Now we go to the Northern Cheyenne Reservation, where the tribe's president is not stepping down quietly after attempts by the tribal council to have him removed. Jace Kilsback was elected just last November. Now, for an unidentified reason, the tribal council wants him removed. In a statement from the tribe's media office, Vice President Conrad Fisher is now identified as the interim president, but Kilsback contends he's still the president and claims he's being targeted because he uncovered fraud within tribal government. Kilsback tells Q2 an investigation revealed the tribe's treasurer was involved in a payroll advance scheme, and now the treasurer's brother wants him out. The tribe produced a letter of support from the Bureau of Indian Affairs stating its decision to oust Kilsback is legal. But Kilsback's attorney points to the tribal court's October 5th ruling that says the petition to remove Kilsback is insufficient. The very next day, on October 6th, the council moved forward with a removal hearing anyway. The tribe's media office declined to provide a reason for removing Kilsback. A spokesperson only said that someone filed a complaint against him and that he did not attend a hearing on that matter. Meanwhile, Kilsback's attorney is asking for the BIA to retract its letter and allow the tribe to work out the matter themselves. Meanwhile, the Montana Highway Patrol is making a special exception for vehicles that cannot hold a front license plate. Waivers are now available for vehicles that have body construction preventing a front license plate bracket installation. In Montana, you are required to have a front license plate visible on your vehicle at all times. The waivers are available on a limited basis. Drivers can still get pulled over, but the waiver must be kept in the vehicle at all times to show proof of exemption to avoid a ticket. The vehicle's owner must do some research to find out if a bracket is available for their make and model. If a bracket can be purchased and installed, a waiver will not be issued. You can find a link to to the forum by visiting this story at ktvq.com. On to business news. Following the announcement that Good Earth Market will soon go out of business, a meeting is set up for co-op members. The board of directors posted a member meeting notice for October 26th at Good Earth Market. The purpose of the meeting is to get input from members on how to dissolve the co-op, which is technically owned by its 4,700 members. Employees tell us the co-op is closing its doors after a long financial struggle. Good Earth Market employs about 30 people. Turning to health news, the rate of obesity among Montana adults is on the rise again. The new 2017 report from the State of Obesity Organization shows over 25% of adults in our state are considered obese. According to the Mayo Clinic, obesity is defined by a body mass index of 30 or greater. That measurement of obesity has been criticized by some fitness trainers for not taking muscle mass into account. The reporting finds that the rate of obesity now exceeds 35% in 5 states. West Virginia has the highest adult obesity rate with nearly 38%. In Montana, the rate of obesity among adults has been trending upward since 1990, when the rate was just over 8%. But after a slight decline last year, the state's obesity rate is once again on the rise. The National Health Service points to high levels of fat and sugar in the American diet and low daily physical activity. Meanwhile, in Helena, new stained glass windows are being installed at the new Carroll College Chapel. Artist Deborah Combs was commissioned to do 5 windows, 2 of which were put in on Tuesday. Combs has worked with stained glass for 4 decades. Her work has graced buildings like Marble Collegiate Church in New York City and St. Mary's Cathedral in Portland. Father Mark Linneman began the process for the stained glass commission almost a year ago. Father Mark and Combs worked closely with faculty and students to create windows that reflected the message of the chapel and the college.
I can only imagine all the young people who come in to pray. And truthfully, you know, it's their window. And Father Mark would say the same thing. It's not, you know, it's not mine, it's not ours. We make it for the generations to come, and that's a lovely thing to be able to do.
Combs added that it was a privilege to spend time in Montana and work on these pieces. Father Mark said they may add more stained glass in the future, but need to take a look at what is right for the chapel. Rocky Mountain College and MSU Billings are getting a big boost in the midst of their fundraising efforts to build new science buildings. On Tuesday, Big Sky Economic Development announced $100,000 grants to both schools and pledged to donate more as part of a match program. The match grant for MSU Billings is up to $100,000, which means Big Sky EDA is prepared to donate $200,000 to the project if businesses in the community step up and donate $100,000. Zoot Enterprises and the Northern Hotel kick things off by donating $10,000. For Rocky Mountain College, the match grant is $50,000. The Billings Gazette announced it will donate the full amount, capping the EDA's match and putting the donation towards Rocky's new science building at $200,000.
Frankly, for both campuses, these projects are just the beginning of what needs to happen to respond to the demands of the market and the demands of industry for a robust, strong higher education system in our community.
Member investors have until the end of the year to make their donations to the match program. And some not so good news from the University of Montana. A lack of money could break a long-standing tradition for the Grizzly marching band. Due to budget cuts within the athletic department, band director Kevin Griggs says the trip to the Cat Grizz game next month won't happen. Grizz athletic director Kent Haslam says the trip for the 130-plus marching band members was $25,000. Griggs says band members are disappointed with the decision, but vows they'll continue to create an energetic, fan-friendly atmosphere at all Grizz home games. Now we go to the Billings Heights, where a pair of principals spent the night on a roof. A successful fundraiser led to the deal at Castle Rock Middle School. Principal O'Shane Morin and Associate Principal Colby Fitzgerald agreed to spend the night on the school's roof if students could raise roughly $15,000 for 90 new Chromebook laptops. The sale of City Brew coffee surpassed the goal, so up on the rooftop they went, and here's what they had to say before their big camping trip yesterday.
Right now we're operating on 7 carts and we have almost 41 classrooms, so there's a lot of teachers that are competing for just 8 carts. So now we're able to put in 2 more carts, and now all of our resource rooms have 10 additional Chromebooks in each room as well.
We're just super proud of our kids, and they put a lot of time and dedication, and we're super proud. And one night on the roof for all the work that they did, I don't know if we're even scratching the surface of what they put in, so we're excited to do it.